What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the hybrid mod action. Spawning in the right hand side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. He is from the DoD clan. His name is Joe. His teammates today in the teal color, playing as Loki. His name is Shelty, and in the in the purple color, his name is Heimdall. Their opponent today in the yellow color, being the PXX clan. In the Oranos race, his name is Gabu. His partners in playing Loki is Mello, and the green player playing Ra is Mozzy. The map is Watering Hole. This is part of the RTSLeague kind of tournament or league thing. Essentially, winner of this gets crowned the best clan. So it's very high stakes and lots of bragging rights. I believe DoD took this first game a little bit not seriously. Some of their B team players played. Now they're bringing out the big guns. Shelty and Joe, the winners and second place finishers of the RTS Sanctuary Christmas Tournament. If you haven't seen those, I have all those videos on my channel. Definitely go and check them out. There were some very, very good games. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what the hybrid mod does. The hybrid mod is a vanilla conversion mod with the added bonus of having Atlantean. So the idea is that all of the mechanics from Nilla stay, except we add in Atlantean. So no classical town centers, no shooting docks. What else is in that game? No free myth units. The list goes on. It does promote aggressive play over boomy play, which is why I like it. I really enjoy it. The only thing that would make it even more competitive is getting rid of auto queue, but that is impossible. Somebody who designed auto queue really enjoyed it. So let's jump in and see what these guys are going to do. We do see the map is Watering Hole, which does super favor Egyptians, especially on these Nilla maps, because you can just fast heroic and you can do a lot of damage by just grabbing those early town centers yourself, because it's very difficult for your opponents to deal with that. But they can also fast heroic themselves as well and see how they can go. We do see that Mello did do that semi-fast mythic last game, which is super powerful. Same thing from Gabu, who also did the semi-fast myth. He has changed gods though. He's going Oranos, so chucking a little bit of the Oranos pressure in. We did see Heimdall have a little bit of difficulty against the Zeus player Mozzy last game. Couldn't really get a significant advantage, which does suggest that potentially Oranos is not that powerful in this mod, simply because you can't get that early town center. You can't do the spammy play and get away with it. You have to work out where to cut your units supply in order to get to the heroic age, so then you can boom even faster or do some sort of semi-fast mythic. Doing that spammy play into a fast heroic or semi-fast heroic or like a normal heroic age just doesn't seem to be that strong from the last game there. So let's see if these guys can adapt and change what they're going to be doing there. I feel like Mello should just stay the same. Playing against Ra, oh no, he's not against Ra. Sorry, playing against Isis, you have to deal with the buffed up Ancestors Eclipse. It has not been nerfed like in the Voobly Balance Patch 3.0. However, in a team game, I kind of get this feeling that it's just not as good as in 1v1 because there's not that many applications. You can use it to double someone, which tends to be the most egregious use of it, because that is difficult to deal with. If you're having to deal with someone else's stuff and then suddenly you have 13 myth units in your base that run around and kill your villagers like nothing, then it is difficult to deal with in that regard. But if you're ready for it, that's going to be totally fine. I'd like to see Mozzy try and get into the build order of Joe. Sniff out when prosperity comes down, have your farms ready to go and cast rain just before he wants to cast it. So generally that's about the 7-minute mark, 6:45 mark when you want to cast the rain, because Isis wants to go fast heroic. So we'll see what happens there and how they get away with that. If we jump over to Shelty, Shelty is Loki as well. So both players have a Loki player. Loki is one of those gods which, if left to his own devices, can do so much damage. We are seeing Forseti is coming through here. If we jump over to Mello, he's also going Forseti a little bit faster. We don't see Mozzy advancing just yet. That's generally normal. You going to be hitting 5:30, 6 minutes with Ra, especially if you go for monuments, which I'd love to see from Ra players on this map. You can sometimes go 3 or 4 monuments with Ra and still hit the heroic age at like 8:15. It's kind of brutal. So 430 for Shelty, Heimdall going through Prometheus, and Gabu also going through Prometheus. A little bit late on that Prometheus though. Does he have the extra villager? I'm confused as, yeah, he must have the extra villager. Where is it? Is he building? Oh, there it is. So he did build an extra villager. I'm not sure why that is. Generally, you only build the extra villager if your economy didn't work in the classical age, and he's going to be under a lot of pressure right now. Heimdall should start producing those Prometheans, but he's avoiding that at this point. He's taking villagers off gold to build these buildings, going military barracks and counter barracks, very standard. We have seen a little bit of action going on over here. The Loki Shelty player in the teal color, using his Ulfsark to harass one of those Gabu Oranoses, and we are seeing Mello chucking his barracks up over on Gabu's base. So I do like this. This is playing very, very smart because he knows that Isis is over the other side, which means that if Loki is going to go anywhere to protect anyone, it's probably going to be the Isis play. So we can do a lot of damage to Heimdall right now if they can get this double happening very, very well. However, that does mean that Shelty is going to have free reign to move into the Ra player, and then they can do some devastating Ancestors Eclipse Horsa action. It also means that his base is completely open to being attacked. And on Watering Hole, you have to move your villagers out of your base to hunt. Like if you move over to these zebra and then they get spotted, that's huge. If we actually jump over to Shelty's perspective, he hasn't cast anything just yet. He's looking to get his town center, but you can't do that on this mod, unfortunately, Shelty. So he's going to be looking out for something else right now. Jumping over to Mello's perspective, he's moving in now with his Horsa. So going to be trying to pick up this. Should grab that blanket of Emperor, so it's very good relic, and he's going to pick it up there and then move away. It does give yourself 5% crush armor, which can actually be the difference between like an earthquake killing your base or not if you have masons and architects on top of the relic there. And we are seeing Valor does get cast there for Gabu. Gabu going also for the military barracks, counter barracks, but also not yet producing any of those Prometheans. I'm not 100% sure if it's just bad to build Prometheans in this matchup, or if it's something that they don't want to do for whatever reason that is. We are seeing some Horsa moving in, going to be able to do some damage from that. But Shelty's going to be looking like he's going to move in and try and get some sort of surround here. Very long movement right there. And we have seen Tusk of the Iron Boar is picked up for Joe, so that's going to make his chariot and his cavalry hit points very, very strong there. And we're seeing Rain gets cast by Mozzy. He did hit the 640 mark, but he was a little bit late to disrupt the prosperity there. Joe a little bit quick on his heroic age. If we jump over to Joe's perspective, he should be going through Nephthys, and we should be seeing Mozzy going through, not even close to the heroic age just yet. A little bit of an inefficient build order here. Generally, I prefer to be if I'm going to miss, I guess he does go for that timing, but generally I try and click heroic age at 6 minutes or 6:20, and then put my farms up there, and then I can start an obnoxious trade route. And we are seeing that Shelty is trying to run around here. He's trying to look for some villages. Could move over and pick off all of these villages. Yellow has all of his citizens in one spot, which is fine because he has the mana there, but that's not going to be all too useful. And we are seeing that Heimdall has a lot of units right now. So this is all going to come down to the micro and the myth unit spawns here. So we are seeing some of these Horsa moving down. Going to be attempting to pick off all of these units, but all the Horsa of teal are attacking as opposed to what Mello has right now. And that's going to be the big difference right now. Joe has hit Nephthys, so he can cast Ancestors Eclipse on this location right now. We do see that Shelty has got a Valkyrie spawn there, and Mello's going to be retreating right now. We do see the Shockwave has cast there, picking off a bunch of those Terma. However, casting the Shockwave, only getting a couple of those Terma there, and then moving his own Terma back. And we are seeing Shelty continuously moving in right now. He's got so many Horsa at this point, doing so much damage. We can see Healing Spring does get cast by Mello, and we're still seeing a lot of fighting here from Gabu, but Gabu needs to get out of here as soon as he possibly can. There's way too many units here for him to deal with. He's going to be retreating right now, and it looks like DoD is going to be completely crushing this position right now. We need to see Melon producing a bunch more units right now, but we do see someone's going to the next stage. Who was that? Oh, I can't jump through these. We are seeing Hathor is coming through right now for Mozzy. Super late. No one else is advancing just yet. Jumping back over to this perspective, we are seeing a shifting sands right now. Going to be picking up a couple of these units. Oh, I love that. That's huge. Picking up a bunch of these units right now. Having nice war walls right here with the houses. Oh, nice troll spawn there. That's not going to do anything if he pulls the Pharaoh over here in order to pick that guy off. But all these units should fall. But this is still going to keep pushing in now. We do see that mozzzzy has hit the Heroic Age through Hathor, but Heimdall moving in for the back. Shelty moving in from the top. Not really happy with the position. Going to be retreating now, but that was a 6 round, and you're going to be losing it. We do see the blanket of Empress Zoe has been dropped there, but that's going to be totally fine. Not going over to Teal just yet. Not picking it back up. Not sure what's going on there. A little bit of panic. A little bit of panic going on right now. We do see that Joe is coming in for this brutal Isis versus Ra strategy. Push the forward Migdol because you advance to the Heroic Age first. You also have Nephthys to deal with that. Get your monument up so he can't use Locust on you. And then you start producing these siege towers and you can just move in. It's super hard to attack it and deal with it because you... Wait, unless you're going to the Mythic Age. mozzzzy not going to the Mythic Age, has no gold in the bank, has built the second town center. So it's going to be totally fine. But if he moves in right now with enough siege towers and Ancestors Eclipse, there's no priests to deal with this. And then the siege tower is just going to come in, pick off this town center. Villagers don't have a bonus to anything right now. We are seeing that the fight is still going fairly decently for DoD over here, but this is the big deal coming on right now. Joe, with all of the siege towers, going to be pumping out right now. If you jump over to Joe's perspective, he does have 68 population. A little bit behind on the houses for some reason. Generally, you get those up super fast. mozzzzy sitting at only 39 population. He is spamming villages like a madman, also getting Skin of the Rhino, which I like, because he's going to have to get all of these villages over here in order to deal with this, and he's going to be wanting to do something right now. We are seeing Ancestors Eclipse does get cast. Shelty does have hitting the Heroic Age through Bragi. These villages are going to be doing a bunch of damage to the siege towers, and also spamming some mercenary cavalry, but it doesn't really have the goal to be doing this at this point. All these villages are going to be getting picked off. Nice micro there with those siege towers. The Ancestors are doing so much damage to these laborers right now. Moving out, going to be picking off some of these siege towers, trying to do the best that they possibly can. Going to be attempting to pick off this location and probably going to be successful with this. We're also seeing DoD moving forward right now, picking off what Mello has and Gabu as well. I would be expecting to see, as soon as this eclipse is over, expecting to see a flaming weapons come through, but that may not happen. We do see idle villages here for red as well. That's not what you want to see. We are seeing the town center does go down. Priests have popped out, finally starting to do some damage. You are seeing mozzzzy does pop up with some of those cavalry at this point. Heimdall's super far ahead, Joe's super far ahead, and Shelty super far ahead. This is almost too much for PXX to deal with right now. All of the units are moving in right now. We see a watchtowers have been grabbed for Gabu, but this is way too much with all of the unit flood coming in right now. Ancestors, it does expire. Got still 5 more seconds until we see the flaming weapons come down. We see so many chariot archers coming out right now. They can pick off all of these camo, but the siege towers have been stopped right now. Shelty casts the flaming weapons. Battle Ball moving in as well. So much damage coming in right now. If we jump over to Shelty's perspective, he has 100 favor in the bank. Needs to start thinking about spending that. You can spend it straight away on the speedy myth unit upgrades, but not doing that just yet. So much damage right now. So much pain coming into the base of Gabu. It looks like Joe's been sent back a little bit, but mozzy's sitting at 41 population to Joe's 99 population. Going to be way too much right now. Town Center is going to be trying to get picked off now. We've got a couple of Battle Ball doing damage here. They do so much damage. They have like 20 crush attack. That's huge, right? They do so much damage to buildings, and he's going to be picking off that town center as soon as possible, and that's going to be really, really difficult for Gabu and PXX to come back in this location. Both mozzy and Gabu losing their hometown center. More chariot archers coming out, siege towers coming out, town centers going down for Joe. So Joe's just stapling his advantage right now. We are seeing Shockwave gets cast over here, but all of these villages gonna go down. This is way too much. Town towers going down and everything else. Mello's losing everything. Gabu's losing everything. mozzy's losing everything. PXX is losing everything. Everyone deciding to tap out right now. Well played there by DoD, taking this game to 1-1. This is a best of 3 series, so we're going to see one more game from these guys. Woo, nice play there by DoD. I feel like mozzy didn't know what to do in this matchup. In Nilla, Isis vs Ra is very, very winnable, but you can't play standard. You can't go greedy for a second town center, otherwise you're just going to lose. Options are Fast Mythic or Bast. If you go Bast and you get Sphinx, that can be absolutely brutal. You want to be grabbing those Sphinx before your opponent hits Heroic Age so you can stop them building the early Migdol, forward early Migdol. You see the villagers move out, you cast Locust. You don't let them get the Monument of his soldiers up, and you should be able to stop any early forward Migdol action, and then you should be able to defend. You shift into Pastusjos, and then you can deal with the Ancestors, and it does work. It's very good. You also have your own Eclipse in order to either delay or push your opponent back. Sometimes you can trade the Eclipse for a town center. You get enough Siege Towers and enough Pastusjos and enough Sphinx. You do a lot of damage. Very, very strong. But unfortunately, mozzzzy not playing the right strategy there, and it just seemed like Gaboo and Mello got outplayed on the top by Shelty and Heimdall. Both players did similar things, but Mello's super late to the heroic cage. mozzzzy not really being able to pump units that fast. But props to Heimdall, Shelty, and Joe and DoD for playing so well. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out. My name is Boit, and I will see you guys next time.